For our project, we worked with Fjorge Digital, which is based in Minneapolis. The purpose of our project was to automate the data flow between 5 different software systems utilizing their APIs. The systems we worked with were PandaDoc, which is used to create and edit documents, QuickBooks, which is used to create and send invoices, Harvest, which is used to track the company's time, HubSpot, which was used to track the sales, and Basecamp, which was used as a project management tool. By synchronizing the data in these different systems, we aimed to reduce the billing process, which was 100% manual at Fjorge. So this is PandaDoc, where Fjorge makes and edits their documents that they send to their clients. This is the system that we get most of our information from, and it sends us the information via a webhook that is stored in a JSON format, and then it gives the information about the document. This is how we know if a document has been accepted, and thus we create a new project, or if we just need to save the project as a proposal in our system. Now if we go over to Harvest, we can see that there's 2 different projects that are active for this account, as well as 2 clients. And so this is the data that will be simulating a PandaDoc webhook. This is how it would be formatted. It's just a bunch of JSON data that contains information we need for our database and for our project. And if we go here, we can see that in my database there's currently just 2 projects. But now when we run the application, it's going to pull the data from that webhook, or the text document simulating the webhook, and then it's going to add the project to the various systems that we use or that we connect to, and it's also going to add it to the database, and then it will create the project in Harvest if it wasn't already in there, and it will also create the client. So now if we go back to our projects and we update the database, we can see that the video creation project has been made. If we scroll over, we can see it's got a Harvest project ID, as well as a project status of draft. This means that it hasn't yet been accepted as an active project. And so if we scroll over, we can see that it hasn't been added to Basecamp. The project only gets added to Basecamp when it's an active project for Fjorge. Now if we go back to Harvest, we can update the clients and see that the demo company has been added, and if we go to the projects and refresh the page, we can see that the video creation project has also been made in here. So now if we go to HubSpot and refresh this, again we will see that the project has been made. Now if we change this, this will simulate the completion of a document, which now means that the project is active. So if we run this again, now since the project is active, it should update the project information to Basecamp, and then it will send an email to everyone involved in the Basecamp project, letting them know that there's a new active project. So if we scroll down, we can see that the video creation has properly been added to Basecamp and is now available for everyone in the Fjorge company to look at and manage. So now we'll show you the invoices being made that are used to transfer data from Harvest to QuickBooks. So if you look in our Harvest system, you can see that we have some time entries, and then when we go to our database, they're also listed up top here. Now they don't have an invoice associated with them, and as you can see, they haven't yet been invoiced. So our invoices run every Tuesday, and they take the time entries from the previous week and invoice them for the projects that bill weekly. So if we run this, it's going to run our script like usual, and then at the end it's going to create all the weekly invoices since it's Tuesday, and then the invoices will be created in the QuickBooks system, and then it will also mark the entries as invoiced. So if we go back to the harvest hours and refresh them, you can see that these 4 entries from last week have been associated with an invoice. They've been marked as invoiced, and if we go to our invoices table, the invoice has been created. This doc number is the number in QuickBooks, which we can look at here. If we refresh the page, this is the sandbox that we're using to create the invoices, and when we refresh the page, we'll see that this number is the number that was in our database, and the invoice has indeed been created. So this is what the invoice will look like, and then from here it can be sent to the clients.